Hi, everyone. I'm sorry the last broadcast cut out, so I decided to start over. I decided to start over with Scorpio because your reading's so cool. So you won't want to miss it. Okay, so we're starting out. First card to come up is the Hermit for the month of April, and you can see Major Arcana stuff. This is the God card. This is your guide saying, hello, God is here this month. And that's a pretty big statement because what does that mean? That means that you are divinely inspired, and that also there's a calling that's happening for you. You're being called to lead, and that means you're being called to be the guru. And you may not want to be the guru. You may not want to enlighten others or hang that lamp over their spiritual path. And that may be something that you've been thinking about doing, but you sort of lift that lamp tentatively. And when you do, you're kind of surprised when people take you seriously. So, but this may be the month to just sort of have the confidence to say, hey, yeah, it's me. I'm one of those people who is a spiritual leader. And so don't feel strange when this sort of energy washes over you. You know what you're supposed to do. And the Hermit, when it does come up, really is speaking that you've been chosen. You've been chosen to lead. And Scorpio, you're to answer that calling. Now, for some of you, you may not feel as if you're being called as much as you're being called to follow. So you might find someone around you who can get you on track and help you to live a more inspired, satisfying life. And so, the path that you will travel here when you follow this Hermit is the narrow path, the one that leads to a self that is beyond your wildest dreams. Actually, even though it's beyond your wildest dreams, but not the way they portray it in the commercials. So it's not like a new car or something like that. It's a lot harder to attain, but this is something you're being called to do, to go after this and to see if perhaps you can get this thing that money can't buy. So it's just over the horizon, but but you'll see the signs and you'll know when you're being called. The funny thing about this is that the next card to come up is the Queen of Wands reversed, and so she's got nothing to do with that, as far as I'm concerned. Now, the Queen of Wands, she would be a fire sign. Sagittarius, she would be Aries, she would be Leo. She's the queen who is the career woman. She's the only queen in the deck with her legs spread, I like to say, and she's a bit of a tomboy and also free spirit. So not afraid to go out and play and have some fun. And I'm just going to say it, may be a bit irreverent, but I'm just going to say it. This is the queen who's the playa. She likes to play around. She may not always want to be loyal, even sexually loyal to her mate. So interesting card to come up right after the Hermit, because if Scorpio, you're feeling like you want to sow your wild oats and you want to sow them with somebody brand new who you just met, then this could speak to you very specifically. Again, sort of in contrast with that Hermit that we saw, but hey, this is just the flip side of life, right? So maybe there's a couple of energies going on this month. You're being called to lead. You could even be called to lead in an organization, called to lead the way, so to speak, or to blaze a path. But then on the flip side of that, your challenge is, hey, I just want to run around and have fun. I want to maybe bed hop a little bit even. But, she is a leader. There's no doubt about it. She can blaze a path. Just make sure that you're not making a mess this month as you go, or you're maybe thinking about it, but not going to do anything about it. Or the other thing is you may have this person or woman like this around you. So if you are in a relationship and you're trying to find, for some of our viewers, you may have a partner who's not loyal, and that's, you know, something else that you'll have to deal with beyond this God calling. So let's see what's happening next. So the Four of Wands comes up for you, Scorpio, and it actually is a great card. Now, this speaks to getting to a place where you're feeling a little more stable, a little more grounded, a little more settled. But then again, in reverse, it's saying, and it did come up in reverse, it's saying you're on your way, you're almost there, but you're not really exactly feeling settled quite yet. It's coming again, but you may find that you're having like situations at home where, you know, even the plumbing is broken or something like that. You may need to fix something in the home just to get comfortable. You're trying to feel comfortable. You're trying to make something comfortable, and you're having a hard time kind of getting there. And also in relationship, if you're in relationship, you're looking for something that feels or someone who feels like they could maybe even be a spiritual guide for you, or you're being a spiritual guide for them. But somehow it's just feeling as if things are sort of fly by night. Maybe you're meeting not at your home, but you're meeting in hotels. That's how this situation is beginning. And, you know, you're not sure if that hotel is scheduled or not, kind of thing, or if you're going to even see this person at all. So that's kind of what's going on. And at the same time, you're kind of following this inner urge. It's interesting, very, very interesting, this inner urge to go beyond and be more than that. Last to come up is Strength, which is a great card, came up in the upright. And this is really all about having the command and control of not only a room, but ourselves and our lower selves. Hey, I'm sorry about that. For some reason, we keep cutting out. But, you know, really what's happening here is that you're underneath the situation. You know, you're the bedrock. You're the person who is able to sort of make everything okay at the end of the day. And it's funny because it seems like those people who are around you count on you to do so. Even though you may have a wild hair sort of in you that they're not even aware of, or someone around you may have a wild hair. But I really think it's, you know, for our female Scorpios, it looks as if they're just feeling a little, you know, like the lioness feels like she wants to go out and sort of prowl around. But at the, you know, at the same time, we got this Hermit and we got the Strength card. So really, you know, Scorpios are very, very spiritual people. They're very strong. They're the very fixed water sign. They're the ones who are able to sort of make a calm situation out of one that could erupt, you know, and become something that is heated and fiery and sometimes even a little bit ridiculous. But your expectations are exactly where they need to be, and you, quite frankly, are always going to feel sort of this divide between wanting to, just feel beautiful, feel sensual, that side of things, and at the same time you get the spiritual side. So it's a weighing between the physical and the spiritual that you're doing, and enjoying both. Actually, there's no reason why you can't enjoy both. Now, if you have a Leo in your midst or someone with a lot of fire in their chart, you're going to be dealing with them at the end of the month, and you're going to be able to rise above that situation, help that person out, because they are having a hard time, and you are the one who is able to say what they need to hear in order to get them through the situation. But you might be getting a bit tired of that. I can see you might be getting it might be getting a bit old. You might be dealing with a bit of that, but you know what? Easiest way for you really within this situation is to be the strong one, is to be the one who can guide the other person or even the group, spiritually guide them. But you don't have to play good girl all the time. You deserve to go out and play too. So don't feel bad about that. So there is your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like a private and personal reading, Scorpio, and I'm sorry for the interruptions, but just go to the website, virtualtarot.com, and I'll be happy to read for you in your particular situation. It's interesting that this Queen of Wands came up in the challenge position, so you might be a little challenged, just wanting to get out there and sow some wild oats or explore, but that's okay. Also, if you'd like to learn how to read the tarot, please tune in, watch the webinars, and so I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. Just email me at myvirtualtarot@gmail.com, and I will see you next month. Have a happy Easter.